Black Hawk Down, The Truth Behind the Fog, audiobook by Naveed Ali Sheikh, based on real events. In the smoke and shadows of Mogadishu, we were the ghosts who refused to let the fallen stay fallen. The forgotten rescue, the ghost of Kargil speaks. I remember Mogadishu like it was yesterday, the burning sky, the crack of gunfire from every rooftop, and the desperate calls over the radio. They tell the story now in books and movies. They call it Black Hawk Down. But they don't tell you everything. They don't tell you about us, the Pakistani soldiers who rolled into hell so that the Americans could live to tell their story. We were stationed under the United Nations flag, not expecting glory nor seeking any medals. But when the call came, when the American Rangers and Delta Force operators were trapped, fellow soldiers shot down in city streets, we knew what had to be done. There was no hesitation. Our convoy Pakistani tanks and armored personnel carriers side by side fought its way through the gauntlet of death. The militia came at us from every side. RPGs firing from alleyways, snipers from windows, ambushes around every corner. We took casualties, we lost vehicles, but we pushed through, not because we were ordered to, but because those men trapped inside Mogadishu needed brothers in arms, not politics. When we finally reached the Americans, what we found shocked us. Bloodied, exhausted, dragging their wounded, barely holding the line. And there was no way we could drive our APCs directly to every trapped man. They would have to run. That's what they call the Mogadishu Mile today. The desperate sprint through streets of fire and bullets. But they don't say who shielded that mile. It was us, Pakistani soldiers, dismounting under fire, forming human walls with our bodies, returning fire, clearing snipers, pulling the wounded behind our armor. Every step they ran, we were there, laying down the lead that kept them alive. I saw a young American fall, shot clean through the thigh. Before the militia could finish him, I ran towards him, grabbed him and hauled him behind our APC. No one talks about that in their movies. The Americans were brave. They are fierce fighters. But so were we. Without our tanks, without our covering fire, without the blood we spilled that night, there would have been not a single survivor to tell the tale. Yet when the dust settled and Hollywood came to write their version of history, we were written out. They painted the story as American endurance and victory alone. What about our role? Reduced to a footnote, forgotten, erased? We didn't come for glory. We came because soldiers don't leave soldiers behind, whether they wear green, tan or black. Years later, when the mountains of Kargil echoed with gunfire and they called me the ghost, I fought with the same creed I carried in Mogadishu. Brotherhood before borders, duty before glory. The truth about Mogadishu will never change, no matter how much they rewrite it. On that dark night in the streets of Somalia, Pakistani soldiers fought, bled and saved life, and we will carry that silent honor long after the last storyteller forgets. In the smoke and shadows of Mogadishu, we were the ghost who refused to let the fallen stay fallen. Signing off, the ghost of Kargil.